I'm going to make a chicken, bacon and leek pie today. For this I've got 2 chicken breasts, 3 medallions of bacon, and clearly you can just use the normal standard bacon that you get in the shops. This has just had the fat cut off of it, but you don't need to do that. I've got half an onion and I've got a whole leek. So I just need to prepare all these ingredients. I'm just going to prepare the leek. With the leek, remember, we need to cut that, and then we need to make sure we wash that completely because we get lots and lots of dirt down on the inside of here. So I'm just going to slice this down. And then just roughly slice the leek down. The next stage is to dice the onion. So top the onion off and just peel the skin back. So I've washed the leek and the onion, diced that all up and put that into a bowl. I'm now going to add some mixed herbs to that. Some salt and some pepper. The next stage is to dice the chicken. So I'll just get the breast and just slice it down lengthways. I don't want this too thick. I want to make it nice and thin. 1, it cooks quicker, but 2, it'll be just nicer in a pie rather than having big lumps of chicken in there. And once I've sliced it down, I can then dice it across. Next is to prepare the bacon, and almost exactly the same way as the chicken, just slice the bacon down, and from there just dice it. So that's my bacon done. I'm not going to season the meat because the bacon is very salty anyway, so that will give us some really good sort of salty flavour within the pie. And we've also seasoned the vegetables, so no seasoning for the meat. So all my ingredients right here. I've got my wok. It doesn't have to be a wok. Remember, you can use any pan that you'd like. It needs to be a deeper pan so that you can put all the ingredients in there and make the sauce. I've heated up the oil now. The first thing to go in there is going to be the vegetables. I'm just going to let those vegetables soften. We cook that for around about 5 minutes. The vegetables have been cooking for around about 5 minutes now, and they're nicely softened. So the next thing I'm going to do is add the chicken and then the bacon. Just mix them around. And let them cook through for about another 5 minutes. So this is cooked for about 5 more minutes. It's very lean meat, so there's not really much fat in there. So it's gone quite dry now. This is where I add the water. And that will now put all the flavours into that water, which will make my stock. This has now been cooking for just over 20 minutes. The next thing I need to do is add the corn flour in order to thicken up the sauce in there. So we made a really good stock, so now we're going to make the sauce, which is by adding this, which will thicken it. With any type of flour, don't ever add it straight to the fluid because it will just go lumpy. So we just a little bit at a time until we get to the consistency that we want. I'm just going to start making the pies now. So the mix is now cooled down. I've left that there for about half an hour or so. What I've got is I've got some of these foil trays which you can get from supermarkets really cheap, and that will just allow me to portion off the pies. And what I'll do is once I've made these pies, I'll use one of these to cut around the pastry so I'll know the size what I want, and then I'll push that in. Important thing with the pie, don't overfill it. So we're just going to put it up to around about 2/3 or 3/4 of the way, no more than that. So probably 2 spoons of this is plenty for the filling. So I've rolled my puff pastry out, and that should be big enough for me to cover all the pies that I've made. I'll just put it right to the edge of the pastry. I'm going to use my pizza cutter again. As I said before, you can use a knife if you don't have a pizza cutter. And I'm just going to roughly cut down here. It doesn't have to be exact because we're going to push the pastry into it. These are my pies, and there's the pie lid. It's really as simple as pie lid in there and just push that in, and that way that'll allow us to get the lid on as well. I'm just going to get a knife and just put a little hole in there so that when it does heat up, the air will push through so it doesn't lift up the pastry. And then I'm just going to egg wash all over that. And then this can go either into the oven straight away, or you can freeze them or put them into the fridge for up to 3 days. You can cook them and then put them into the freezer and then just defrost them and just reheat them.